Hello.
21 Alpha, first star, window 6.
Thank you.
G'day OWFsquad, welcome back to another Thursday trip report. Today I'm going to fly Qantas from Adelaide, Australia to Hong Kong with a stop in Sydney. I've flown this route many times, Adelaide to Sydney and also Sydney to Hong Kong, but I've never done this trip at night. Previously I've only done it in the morning. So from Sydney to Hong Kong it's going to be on Qantas QF117, 10:30 PM departure, arriving next morning at 5 AM. I personally prefer a day flight to Hong Kong because I enjoy the view en route, but this time I've picked a night flight to Hong Kong for two reasons. So the first reason is that I just finished my exam in the afternoon and I wanted to start my holiday as early as possible. Reason number two, the airfare leaving tomorrow onwards is going to be a lot more expensive due to the Australian summer holiday. In just a few seconds we'll land into Sydney Kingsford Smith Airport. If you want to watch the trip report from Adelaide to Sydney on Qantas 737, you'll find a link in the description down below.
And for those customers transferring to Qantas to international flights, need to make your way to the Qantas Transfer Lounge at Gate 15. That's Gate 15 for all customers transferring to international flights.
So I just arrived at gate number 15 for the bus to the international terminal. Our flight from Adelaide along with other domestic flights actually arrived late, and all of us here have missed the last bus to the international terminal. Fortunately, Qantas knew about the delay and they managed to run an extra bus service. Funny enough, all of us on the bus are connecting to Hong Kong on either QF117 or Cathay Pacific CX138. We soon arrived at the deserted Terminal 1. Immigration and security were surprisingly efficient. I didn't feel like I was in Sydney. Duty free was all empty, so was the whole terminal. All remaining flights are boarding now, so unfortunately I don't have time for a lounge visit today.
So we made it to Terminal 1 now. It's a 5-6 minutes walk to gate 36 for our flight. By the way, that stamp we got, it was useless because Express Path was closed.
There's a long queue for our flight, so it looks like it's going to be a full flight to Hong Kong. I'm a One World Sapphire member, so I can skip that long queue and use the business class queue.
Hello. Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
There's our plane to Hong Kong, a 14-year-old Airbus A330-300, Victor Hotel, Quebec, Papa, Juliet. This plane previously had the Rainbow Roo livery on it to show support for the LGBT community.
Hello.
21 Alpha, first star, window 6.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi everyone. To help us get away on time, we ask that you place your bag either underneath the seat or in the overhead lockers. Where possible, place those large...
Welcome on board Qantas A330. The economy class configuration is 242. So here's my seat 41A, my favourite seat in the economy class cabin of the Qantas A330-300. Every seat is about 17 inches wide and your seat pitch or legroom is about 31 inches. So I'll now quickly go through the seat features. You've got a TV, under that a USB port and headphone jack. Here's a useful literature pocket. Under that you've got a tray table. You can fold it in half and also move it back and forth like this. As you can see, there's an adequate amount of legroom. There's two seat pockets, which is excellent for storage. Behind me, a beautiful stylish red headrest. It's adjustable and also very sturdy, which I think it's really important for a good night's sleep. Under the seat in front of you, you've got a netted footrest, which I think it's really comfortable, way better than a fixed footrest. Between every two seats, you'll find one universal power socket. Sydney Airport has a curfew from 11 PM to 6 AM, so there's been multiple announcements telling people to store their bags quickly and sit down as soon as possible.
My name's Pete Stewart, I'll be your customer service manager this evening. And all of you in the main cabin is our customer service supervisor, Mr. Lee Stevens. I'd like to take this opportunity also to welcome back all our Qantas, Emirates and One World frequent flyers travelling with us this evening. As always, a pleasure to have you back on board. As you are now settling in, ladies and gentlemen, you do need to place all large bags in the overhead lockers. Smaller bags may go under the seat in front of you. If you are seated in an exit row, all carry-on baggage must be placed into the overhead lockers. Small handheld devices, no larger than an iPad, may be stored in your seat pocket. You need to check that you are seated in the seat allocated to you on your boarding pass. Your seatbelt should be firmly fastened, your seat back should now be upright, and your tray table should be locked in. If you are travelling in business class, you need to ensure your sash belt is now fastened. For those passengers in the economy section of the aircraft, the small upper literature pocket just below the entertainment screen does need to be cleared of all materials for takeoff and landing. Once again, for those customers in the economy section of the aircraft, your entertainment headset may be used for takeoff only if it is inserted into the armrest. You will need to remove headsets and USBs from the seatback attachment for takeoff. 8 hour 40 minutes flight time up to Hong Kong, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully getting away here on time and getting you in on schedule into Hong Kong, where the local time is just coming up to 17 minutes after 7. So you do need to rewind your watch 3 hours. As I mentioned, should be on the ground at 5 AM local time. Just a reminder, of course, as always, that smoking and the use of e-cigarettes is not permitted during this flight, and as I will be closing the front door very shortly, all electronic devices, including mobile phones, must now be set to flight mode. A small handheld device may be used for takeoff in flight mode, but you do need to put away all larger laptop computers and other devices into approved storages. Radio transmitters and devices without flight mode cannot be used at any time during the flight. Thank you for your attention. Once again, welcome aboard Qantas Flight 117.
Hello， 特別歡迎所有揾屋環嘅一家乘客以及澳航嘅會員，好多謝你選擇澳航嘅服務，並希望過呢個舒適愉快嘅旅程。
The crew are now handing out menus for today's flight.
The cabin crew, the final door of the aircraft has now been closed. Please prepare.
Nobody laughed. If oxygen is required, a mask will drop from above. Pull down firmly to activate the oxygen. Put it on quickly and tighten the strap. Oxygen will flow without the bag inflating. Fix your own mask first and then help others.
There's a life jacket under your seat, next to it, or in the leg rest. Remove your life jacket from the pouch by pulling the tab. Put it over your head, pass the strap around your waist, clip at the front, then tighten. There's a
扣調校安全帶。假如你嘅座位裝有肩帶，請確保喺起飛同埋着陸之間扣好肩帶。
The cabin crew have dimmed the cabin light just a very little bit for the takeoff. We've just taken off and I'll quickly show the entertainment system on board this A330. The TV is really easy to use and navigate, it works just like an iPad. There are also many movies to watch. There's also a flight map. Oopsie doopsie.
Seatbelt signs now being switched off. You are now free to move about the cabin should you choose to do so. However, I must remind you all that whilst you are seated, it is Qantas policy that your seatbelt should remain firmly fastened. We will be handing out arrival documentation for Hong Kong shortly. This does consist of just the one document that needs to be completed by all customers who are disembarking in Hong Kong that are not in possession of a Hong Kong identity card. For those of you also who are in transit, there's no requirement to complete the documentation. But for the rest of our customers, you will need to complete the arrival form. Should you have any problems, please don't hesitate to ask a member of the crew. Thank you. Of course, it is our pleasure to have you on board this evening, folks. If there's anything we can do to make your journey a little more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask.
So here's the flight map. It's not interactive, so you can't zoom in and zoom out to wherever you want. So the menu was distributed before takeoff and the bottle of water was after takeoff. I'll now show you what you can order for today's flight. There's a meal after takeoff, you get 3 options. Before landing into Hong Kong, there's going to be a breakfast, just one option available. Here's the drink list, a good selection of alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. About an hour after takeoff, the cabin crew started the dinner service.
Mineral water. Time's up.
So here's my dinner, let's dive into it. I opted for the Chinese pork with udon noodles, which is a bit weird because the pork is Chinese but udon's meant to be Japanese. Along with the noodles there's a focaccia, a cheesecake, and for drinks I went for sparkling water. The presentation frankly isn't the best today, despite that the udon was very delicious. It was very flavourful with lots of minced pork. However, it was a little bit too oily. My mouth was dripping oil after I smashed this meal. The cheesecake was one of the highlights of the meal. It was really good. I particularly liked the flakes at the bottom of the cheesecake.
Hello from Qantas Airbus A330-300 Lavatory. This one is located in the middle of the plane between the 2 economy class cabins. The size is quite decent here, it's not too small, you've got a bit of space to move around. There you have the toilet seat, and up here next to the mirror you have a coat hook. Yay!
After the meal, the crew came back to offer us hot beverages. There's coffee, tea and hot chocolate, and I went for a green tea. We're about 2 hours into the flight. The cabin crew switched off all the lights so we can all have a good night's sleep. At this point of the flight, I've been awake for a whopping 40 hours, so I'm knackered and I'm gonna go to sleep right now. I literally went for 5.5 hours. We're 90 minutes away from Hong Kong. The cabin crew switched on all the lights for brekkie. So here's my breakfast, 3:30 in the morning Hong Kong time. Let's dive into it. So first of all, here's a carrot and oat loaf. This one is warm and delicious. For the main, there's an omelette, potatoes, bacon and tomato. For drinks, I went for an English tea. Overall, it's not a big breakfast, but compared to what Qantas served from Hong Kong to Australia, or on a day flight to Hong Kong, this is excellent. The only tiny criticism is that the spinach looks really old and tired. Qantas fans will notice something special about this tiny meal box. The design on it is designed by Emily Kane-Ganarai. It's the lady who designed that indigenous 787, which looks absolutely stunning. With just 33 minutes left, the cabin crew now come around the cabin to collect rubbish and meal trays.
And at this stage saying a touchdown time of just prior to 20 to 5 this morning, Hong Kong time. And based on that, whichever disembarking the terminal, probably close to 10 to 5 this morning, as we've got a fairly long taxi to our parking bay. As you're probably aware, 3 hour time change between Melbourne or Sydney and Hong Kong, and current time is 7 minutes past 4. Weather conditions for our arrival, just a moderate northeasterly breeze, few clouds around, and comfortable 21 degrees. We'll be happy to have a pleasant trip with us throughout the evening and manage to get some sleep. And on behalf of the crew, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly Qantas. Look forward to seeing you again. See you next time I choose to fly. You need to remove all headsets and USBs from the seat back attachment before landing. Thank you.
We've started our descent into Hong Kong Chelapkot International Airport, so I'll quickly conclude this red-eye flight to Hong Kong with Qantas right here, right now. It was a bit rushed at Sydney Airport because our flight from Adelaide was delayed, but fortunately the Qantas ground team management was good at Sydney Airport, so we got on our flight to Hong Kong. Now I'm going to talk about the seat. I'm quite a big fan of the Qantas new international economy seats. I really like the netted footrest. I like having my feet hanging around. It really is really comfortable. There's also a tiny literature pocket under the TV, and I reckon all airlines should have that. It's really handy when it comes to tiny items like a phone, earphones and passport. Now to the service. About half of the cabin crew speak Cantonese, which is lovely. I was served mostly by them throughout the flight. They have smiles on their face, which is really good. Throughout the night I didn't really notice, but I'm sure that they went around the cabin multiple times to give out water and fruits. Now to the food and beverages on board. The udon noodles was very good again, but too oily. Also the presentation was average. For the breakfast, I thought the portion was okay. It was only 3:30 in the morning in Hong Kong or 6-ish in Sydney, Australia. We already had a late dinner, so that breakfast wasn't necessary for me. But I'm sure those having a big day ahead or having a connecting flight really appreciated that breakfast. It was quite delicious, the only thing that the spinach was ugly. So overall a pretty good flight. A lot of thumbs up from me, just a few thumbs down, and they're not big issues. Finally, for your information, I paid $520 to fly return from Adelaide to Hong Kong with a stop in Sydney. That's it from me today. Thank you very much for watching this trip report. I really do hope that you enjoyed this one, and my new style of doing my conclusion with all that thumbs up and thumbs down. Any feedback is more than welcome. And here we are, One What Fly Squad. Please share a journey with me with this special magical hashtag on Instagram, and please don't forget to like this video, comment down below, I'll definitely reply to you, and share this video with your aviation friends. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Your subscription is really important to me, it means the world to me. And also please don't forget to click the bell button as well, because I upload a new trip report every Thursday 12 PM Hong Kong time, or 3 in the afternoon in Sydney during the summer, so you don't want to miss out. You can also follow me on Instagram and add me on Snapchat. I upload on those channels very regularly as well. Thank you once again, and see you next week. Bye bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hong Kong. The local time is just coming up to 24 minutes before 5 o'clock. I would ask now that you please remain seated until the captain does indeed park the aircraft and switch off the seatbelt sign. As we did have a little turbulence during the evening, we do strongly suggest that you take particular care when opening up the overhead lockers, as your luggage may have moved around during the flight. Also, as you are all disembarking the aircraft here in Hong Kong, another very good idea is to make sure you check the seat and the seat pockets for all your personal belongings before you disembark. At this point, folks, if you do think your mobile device has slipped into the seat and you can't find it, don't move your seat, just call one of the cabin crew and we will retrieve the device for you. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the captain, myself and the entire crew to thank you all for choosing to fly with Qantas this evening. It's been a pleasure to have you on board, and we certainly appreciate your business, and we do look forward to seeing you all aboard a Qantas flight in the not too distant future. And once again, thank you all. Enjoy your stay in Hong Kong. For those of you travelling further afield, we certainly wish you a safe and pleasant Hong journey. Good morning.
Hello there, welcome back to another Q&A and thank you very much for watching my Qantas trip report. I got 2 questions to answer in today's Q&A session. One is from Instagram, another one from Snapchat. So question number 1 from Snapchat. Mr. Jack from Manchester, in your opinion, which airline offers the best economy product? I don't even have to think. Japan Airlines. Their seats are massive, very comfortable. On their 787 layout is 242 rather than 333. On their 777 international fleet, layout is 333 rather than 343, so it's very wide. Also on their newer economy class seats, the leg room or seat pitch is 34 inches. Some airlines would charge you extra money for those leg rooms, so Japan Airlines definitely. Also their catering in economy class is amazing. You get a lot of food and drinks, plum wine, you know, YSSY. Also I want to talk about the service on their international flights. The cabin crew don't stop working. They always walk around the cabin. In 1 second they'll give you orange juice, they'll come back later for a hot green tea, come back literally in 5 seconds for cold green tea. You know, it's non-stop service throughout the flight. So Japan Airlines. Question number 2 today from Ted Purton, sorry I don't know how to pronounce it. Ted Purton Aviation, what are your goals for one world flyer and which airlines are you aiming to try? Interesting. I don't really have a goal set for myself because I see my channel as a hobby, you know, a lifestyle, and I don't have a goal for that. It's not like, you know, a job or an assignment that I'm aiming for a high salary or A+. But yeah, it would be amazing if I get, you know, 10 million subs or 10 billion. That's my dream. Also, what would be another goal? So another goal would be my goals set on my Patreon. So I got 1 goal left to reach, and that's $2,500 per month. I know that's ridiculous, but if you read, it's giveaway, plane tickets giveaway. So I want my viewers to be happy. I want my subscribers in particular to be happy. So if I have that money, I'm going to give out plane tickets. Easy peasy. Also, I recently reached $300 and I promised that I'm going to bring a group of teenagers on a trip. I've got that planned already. Tickets are booked. We're going from Adelaide to, where are we going? Sydney on a Qantas 737, and then A330 on a Qantas to Perth, and next morning we fly Virgin Australia Fokker 100 back to Adelaide. I used points and miles for that flight. I think it's worth it. I've got 6 people on that trip. It's going to be very fun. And of course, if that trip in April, when I upload the video on YouTube, it gets a good amount of views, new subscribers, comments, I'm going to do more of those trips. I get to fly and I get to benefit others as well, so why not? It's good for everyone. And the second part of the question, what airlines am I aiming to try? I answered that previously, but I'm going to do it again. Air New Zealand, EVA, Starlux, also from Taiwan, Qatar Airways, Delta, United. I want to try those so bad. I booked Air New Zealand 787 economy class from Auckland to Adelaide for April, so I'm super looking forward to that flight. No lounge access or priority boarding or whatever, but a new airline. And thank you for watching this Q&A, and also again for the trip report. I hope that you enjoyed everything. I hope to see you again next Thursday, 12 p.m. Hong Kong time. Bye bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Boston. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and your cabin baggage stowed until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.